your Two Dads show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know. Subscribe quick, there's quick monsters on the way. Inspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Yeah.
Good morning. Welcome back to today's news. I don't even know how you say it. XPeng Motors says that there's going to be an American bloodbath. Nice little update on the bloodbath hoax. Good morning, folks. I'm JJ. That's Deacon. We are your two dads, and we meet here Monday through Friday, exactly at 8 o'clock in the morning. And we drink coffee and we talk about the news, politics, culture, pop culture, stuff that's happening in the media, stuff that's happening in the stuff that's going to shape your day. Is it stuff that's going to directly affect you? No, absolutely not. Definitely not. Most of this stuff has nothing to do with you at all, but it's kind of on the periphery, and that may shape your attitude, and your attitude does affect you. So we want to help you dispense with the gloom and have a great day.
That was a lot of bull crap. Hi.
It's not true. A lot of that's very little of what I said is true.
Can you hear me okay? Because I can't hear myself.
You're like at 60%, dude.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
fine.
very low. It's pretty low. Deke's got a train, some sort of a rabbit in there pulled on some of his wires or something, and his mics, his soundboard's goofed up.
Well, I think my
It's good now.
primary microphone pot, I turned it up. I think my one primary microphone pot is getting dirty. I really need to take that out and clean it.
Yeah.
It's pain in the butt, but
yep.
that's my number one that I use all the time. It's constantly going up and down 5-6 times more than the others. So I bet it's dirty.
You just need to run down to Radio Shack and get some electronics cleaner. It's this little spray stuff.
I've got some sitting in there. I just need to run and get it in a second.
Also, Radio Shack doesn't exist anymore. All right.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Dude, right before the show started, you were like goofing around, and I was like, I got a song stuck in my head because my kids watch Trolls. I don't know, it was a couple weeks ago, but they watch it a lot, and so it's on repeat on YouTube, some of the songs or whatever. So I was singing to myself, I want to take you to a better place. And then I was like, I don't remember the words exactly. I'm going to look it up. So I went over to Google and the search thing, and I was starting to type some of the lyrics so that I could get the rest of them. I want to take you to, and then it autofilled. Guess what it autofilled?
I don't want to know.
I want to take you to a gay bar.
Oh my God.
What? Why is my browser doing that? Bing. Dude, not everybody's gay.
Okay, it's Bing.
Bing, Google, whatever. They're all the same. Anyway, okay. Good morning, folks. Let me put a little hello message in the chat. Anything happening that we need to know about, Deke?
No.
Nothing? No? All right. Let me put a little hello message in the chat. Good morning, folks. If you haven't already, you guys please head over to our Discord server and come hang out with us. Good morning, y'all. I heard somebody complaining about the word y'all recently. I want to get your opinion on this.
Really? Hello.
Test. Yep.
Test.
Yeah. Yeah. It's working. It's working. I think it was Ethan Van Sciver, who he's a comic book artist. He draws Cyberfrog. He was on the show, and he was like, you can't use the word y'all. Y'all has been adopted by social justice warriors because it is gender neutral. So apparently woke lefties will say y'all to each other so that they don't have to say him or her or Mr. or Miss or them, zer, they, their, and so social justice warriors apparently are confiscating the word y'all. And I was told that we can't say it, but I was told this by a Yankee in New Jersey. And I'm like, and my immediate reaction to that is, I understand what you're saying, but I'm from Texas and I say y'all, and that's just what I do.
Y'all, that's just a word that we always say. It every once in a while, you all or you guys or something like that will come out, but most of the time it's y'all. And if you succumb to you've got something that you've been doing for a long time, and someone that you opposes takes that and uses it for negative purposes, and you now associate that with that, that just means you are a lower IQ than everyone else. You need to realize that, and let me give you a prime example. The battle flag of the southern states of America. No one even knows what the hell that flag is, what it stands for, what the X means, what anything is on that flag. So they associate it with racist, rednecks, hate, slavery. They associate it with these key words, and they never once looked up the meaning and why that is what it is, because they just, and that is,
I think it's
to me personally, that is a sign of a lower IQ. It doesn't mean they're dumb. That just means that they have a lower IQ, an intelligence quotient. That's my personal.
You went to the you went to the battle flag as your. Isn't that
one thing that came to my head? That's a miss. That was just like that was the first.
Yeah, the battle flag means like exactly.
I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. You talk about your other thing.
I'm telling you what it means to me.
Okay, what does it mean to you?
I will tell you exactly what it means to me.
You looked up the history of that flag?
Man, I know exactly what it means.
Yeah,
it's right here. Where's the here?
Oh my God, that's what you.
That is exactly what it means to me. I don't care about 200 years ago. That thing is just on the top of the General Lee.
I'm using it as an example of what you were talking about.
Right. Yeah. All right. Well, listen, I'm not going to say.
I'm sorry, it's gone over your head.
All right, let's bring it back to this idea. What if crazy wokey lefties are people that think they're part armadillo or whatever, and they're saying y'all, and they're confiscating. I am just gonna straight ignore it. I already ignore them anyway, but I am gonna just ignore it. I'm just gonna continue saying y'all. That is linguistic heritage, as far as I'm concerned. It's also pretty convenient.
Don't succumb to people taking over stuff that's yours.
How do we take it back? We have to take it back. I think we should.
You do like you do. Ignore them. Keep using it. Just don't succumb to that bullshit.
I don't know. Men in dresses are pretty persuasive. They keep persuading a bunch of people that they're not crazy.
I've got a story about a man in a dress up here coming up a little bit later on the show. If you want.
Okay. I'm looking forward to that.
I've got some hidden AI news and some stuff that I feel like too.
This is a wonky morning because we got some news, but yesterday we had over the weekend we had the mainstream media just straight losing their mind and acting absolutely crazy, acting as though literally manufacturing the bloodbath hoax over the weekend. And by Monday morning, a lot of people thought that obviously they got caught, they're gonna quit, and then they doubled down. Joe Scarborough doubled down, or whatever. It's going to be a bloodbath in insinuating political violence. And so we have an update on that, story, which adds a little bit of context, I think, to what Donald Trump was actually talking about. So we're going to talk about that. Today's, I believe, election day for Ohio, or primary election day for Ohio. So we'll probably get some news about that tomorrow. And Deke has a very gross story about Elizabeth Hurley. I just want you to know, I saw the story last week and I was like, no, but I guess we are.
It got sent to me last night. It got sent to me last night, and I read the headline and I thought, if I have to suffer with this, so does JJ. And I'm going
let me just tell you, I distinctly remember Elizabeth Hurley in a movie where she played the devil with Brendan Fraser. I think it was Bedazzled or something like that.
Bedazzled. Yeah, they're right.
And that's what such a great movie. And I really liked Elizabeth Hurley. And this is gross.
Elizabeth Hurley will always be Vanessa shagging. What was her last name from
Yeah.
Austin
Oh,
Powers?
yeah. Right. Yeah.
Vanessa something, I thought was her name.
And then, an entire generation has gone by it, and I don't think they've seen Austin Powers at all.
I know.
An entire generation. They
Go
have
back
no
and
idea.
watch that now, and you'll be like,
They have.
oh, well, you
the,
can't do that today.
these kids have no idea what humor is. My God, this we're just getting steamrolling the guy with the steamroller for real. The scene where he's got somehow a little car stuck literally perpendicular in a hallway.
Dude, the Big Johnson dick jokes were the best in those movies. They were the best. Where they're like,
what happened to Mike Myers? Where he went somewhere? Where's he gone? Because like he must have had like a sexual scandal or something because he got erased from history.
Yeah, I don't know
what happened to that guy.
To be honest.
All right, let's.
This really should be a phone call this morning.
Yeah, I know it really should have been. David wants us to keep us entertained. He's at the dealership. Don't take the first offer, Dave. Don't take the first offer. Okay. No, sir. And you make them calculate the interest. Calculate the interest.
If they're
going to say,
if he leans on his desk, if he comes out and sits on his desk and goes, now, I could get in trouble if my manager found out, or don't tell my manager.
Yeah, right.
Leave immediately.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I just talked to my manager, and he said we could work out this deal here.
Anything like that,
dude. They went back to the office. He was like, "I'm just gonna sit here for 5 minutes and then go tell this guy some bullshit." That's what he's really saying.
Yeah, it's great.
And when they say, well, we can do like a 60-month note, but we can bring it down if we go 72. It's worse.
You want the undercarriage coating, and be sure and get the extra insurance on the floor mats. That's very important.
Let me tell you what, Dave doesn't need our advice for buying a car. Isn't he older than me? Is he older than you? I don't know I don't know how, if he's older or younger than us. He doesn't need our advice buying a car. Do not buy new. Don't buy new. No, sir. But if you do buy new, you better buy gap insurance. You better, but don't buy new. All right.
What a cluster today this has been.
This is a great story. Great show. Well, it starts with bad mic pots. All right.
I know it's driving me crazy still.
Okay, Deke. I'm going to remind the audience, all of him, when Do Good wakes up, that there was a bloodbath hoax perpetuated on the American public where Donald Trump said there was going to be a bloodbath, and the major media, I mean, we're talking NPR, we're talking NBC, they ran with it. They are saying that Trump says people are going to kill each other if he doesn't win. Well, that's not the truth. The truth is that Donald Trump was saying if he doesn't win, China is going to flood the market with cheap Chinese cars, and there's going to be a bloodbath in the auto industry. Auto workers in the United States of America are going to lose their jobs, lose money, lose competition. There's people who are going to get the auto industry is going to have a bloodbath. And to which the mainstream media hoaxers are like trying to wash that under the rug because they got to say the word bloodbath in Trump bloodbath. That's what they got to say. That's what they want because they're trying to affect the election. Well, this guy here, I'm going to say his name wrong. His name is XPeng, and he's the CEO of XPeng Motors. And he said a month ago that Chinese motor company is going to cause a bloodbath in the American market. That's what he said a month ago. Yeah. Over the weekend, Donald Trump was campaigning in Vandalia, Ohio, when he warned about a fierce new competition with Chinese-made electric vehicles. And this dude said, Xiaoping said, this year, he said a month ago, this year also marks the beginning of a fierce competition that may end in a bloodbath, or as I prefer to call it, the brutal knockout round among Chinese automakers. Xiaoping wrote in an employee memo. XPeng has engaged in this cutthroat competition right from the outset, thus accumulating considerable experience. Our guts, grit, perseverance, and I firmly believe will lead us to victory.
So how do they flood the market with an electric vehicle over here? I'll tell you how exactly, JJ. You offer a freaking brand new electric vehicle for $15,000 to $18,000.
Yep.
And they will sell like hotcakes.
Nobody likes buying gas. Nobody likes buying gas.
Which is unfortunate, but a $15,000 to $18,000 brand new vehicle over here right now, people will jump all over it.
Yeah, if it's halfway decent, you know, yeah.
I would have an electric vehicle to drive back and forth to work.
Yeah,
like that would be my
honestly,
back and forth. I wouldn't be taking the shit to Nashville or St. Louis or anything like that, long trips. But my little back and forths all day, yeah.
Your little puddle jumper, your daily.
I would, you know those little ones, those little electric smart
Oh, we're
cars?
the same age. I didn't know. Dave. Dave says we're the same age. I'm sorry, Dave. I wasn't insinuating that you're older. I was saying I don't know how old you are because I'm a terrible friend. Okay. Yeah. Okay. You were saying, what were you saying?
I don't remember.
Isn't it true that Americans don't actually seem that interested in buying electric vehicles, though?
Because
why is
$45,000 for a cheap one or some shit? They're maybe not. I mean, there might be, but still, they're expensive as shit. And Americans I want to drive to New York, by God, if I want to, you know. Electric vehicles are for people in cities. They're not for people in the country. You can't run shit on have you ever tried? I think I've said this before. Have you ever tried to use an electric weed eater? You can get more done with a pair of scissors. All right. I had to go. I got my stepmom's weed eater one time. She's like, it's electric. And I used it. And I'm like, yeah, it's not cutting shit. So I went to my brother's. I was like, dude, I need your freaking gas powered freaking big, thick gauge.
You gotta have enough watts. You gotta have enough watts on that battery.
You gotta have some ass and on it sometimes.
I have an electric weed eater and an electric lawnmower, and they work great.
Yeah, but you live in like a
suburb.
A suburb.
I live in the suburbs. That's right.
An electric weed eater and an electric lawnmower wouldn't do shit for my yard, but piss me off.
Well, you're not wrong, because if the grass gets too tall and I don't mow, because it's raining on the weekends or whatever, and I don't mow for a couple of weeks and it gets too tall, then it starts to really get the battery.
Do you have the same type of grass throughout most of your yard?
No.
Oh my God, I got like 50
I've been working on it.
Kinds.
I've been working on it for years, and it's barely it's not good. Oh, I do have a garden, though. I built a garden box. I don't know if I mentioned it yet. I built a garden box the last week or so, and I've been growing cucumber plants and tomatoes. And my daughters, my oldest daughter, she ordered locust. No, not locust. What is it? It's praying mantis cases. So so I put in the garden a stick with the couple of praying mantis cases, and over the next month or two, they're going to escape from their cases and start filling up my yard with praying mantises. My wife is not on board with this idea.
No, I'm with her. I'm not on board with that idea. You're one to unleash thousands of baby praying mantises all over your yard and your neighborhood.
And well, they eat like gnats and insects and stuff.
That's cool. Have you ever seen
my daughter's
freaky,
yeah, I know they're freaking. My daughter's idea was that this would be a little pet we keep in a jar. I have dissuaded her from that by showing her videos of them and then being like, if we keep it inside, it's probably going to die. So we need to put them outside. For which my wife was at least you got them out of the house.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's a mercy, dude.
Yeah.
We did butterflies, not praying mantises.
Butterflies?
We would get the butterfly casings, and they would come, and we would have them in the little thing. And when they would hatch, we would go out we would drive to this field and whatnot, and we would let the girls get out and let the butterflies go into the field.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we did that a couple of times. They liked it when they were
little. My daughter, same daughter actually. Last year, she's very into bugs and like dinosaurs and dragons and all that stuff.
Cool as crap.
My wife and I were talking the other day and was like, "Did she get that from you?" I was like, "No, did she get that from you?" Because I'm not interested in bugs at all. So last year she caught a caterpillar and she was determined that it was going to become a butterfly. And it did not become a butterfly.
Sometimes they stay as caterpillars, though. You got to get the right ones.
Survive.
Sometimes caterpillars are caterpillars. They never turn back into butterflies.
Right. Okay. So you got a bunch of stories in the thing here, and I'm all confused and mixed up. What do you want to do next?
I was going to let you get through your story. I wanted to point. Okay, let me throw this one in here because this come up on X yesterday. That the Supreme Court of the United States has extended the stay that blocks Texas police from arresting illegal immigrations after the Biden administration sued Texas to stop them from arresting people who can illegally cross the border. Yes, you heard that correctly. The Supreme Court and Joe Biden are stopping Texas from protecting themselves from an invasion. This comes the same day a federal judge ruled that illegals can carry weapons. I did not see that one.
What?
The federal judge.
Illegals can carry?
I did not see that story.
Illegal? No. There was they can carry what? We need to get this. We need this information right now. Let's find this. Right now.
I got it right here. I was just trying to find
the share button.
Oh no, I was trying to find it's here. This is from Newsmax. Share. Ooh. Federal judge, illegal immigrants can carry guns. In a ruling that had both, you want to listen to this? You want to listen to this thing?
Let's see what he has to say. It can't be that long.
Think about this, Rita. Our great veterans have fought for the sovereignty of our country, our borders, so that our Americans could be safe. And Biden has unequivocally undone that in the last 3 years. It is absolutely scary, his policy. He's hung out the sign, come one, come all, and you know this, a Haitian who came across on the parole program, flew into the United States under his program and raped a 15-year-old girl. Biden has this blame all laid directly at his feet.
You know, there are a number of members of Congress that are also trying to evacuate Americans that are right now in Haiti. I think about...
you're talking about Haiti. So, yeah, the U.S. District Judge Shannon Johnson Coleman ruled March the 8th that the defendant, Flores, who is residing in the United States illegally, had his Second Amendment rights violated when prosecutors originally charged him, which bars illegal immigrants from carrying guns or ammunition. The non-citizen possession statute violates the Second Amendment as applied to Mr. Flores. Thus, the court grants Flores' motion to dismiss.
I'm all for the Second Amendment. I am like 150% for the Second Amendment for Americans. What is this? Why is I'm gonna need somebody to explain to me why illegal or criminal migrants that are not Americans have a right to bear arms on American soil. I'm gonna need an explanation on that one.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Because it really looks like you're trying to get an easy army in here, you asshole. And why are we not stopping this yet? Why are we just sitting around?
Imagine, if you would, that it were more obvious and a literal army of people in the same suits with rifles were marching across the Rio Grande and into Texas. And then they were in there and they were like, hey, everybody freeze, stop. And like, we have a right to bear arms. I mean, like, that's
these
crazy.
People coming over here have nothing to lose, and there's nothing scarier than someone who has nothing to lose. Okay. First of all, there's that. Second of all, you've got all of us that are so busy in our freaking lives and can barely afford anything these past 3 years that we haven't got time to march and get pissed off and do this like they do. They don't have anything. They have nothing to lose and everything to gain. And we don't have time to get pissed off to go tell them en masse that this is unacceptable. We don't have time. It's almost like someone very, very smart was playing an elegant game, and now we're seeing the moves. They've moved 3 steps ahead of us, and now we're just now seeing the moves. We're 3 steps behind.
I think you think that there's a master villain, and I think that the manipulations of a master villain would look exactly the same as a bunch of immoral, stupid people doing all kinds of stuff.
I think that is if I was the master villain, I would want you to think there's no master villain and to think it's a bunch of stupid people doing stupid stuff. That's exactly what I would want. I do not.
We can agree that this is dumb.
I don't even want you to know that I exist.
Sure, but we can agree that this is nonsense.
Is dumb. This is why. That's why I say, why are we not? Why hasn't anybody done something about this yet?
Listen to this argument by this dude's lawyer, or by the Judge Coleman. The government argues that Carabal Flores is a non-citizen who is unlawfully present in the country. The court notes, however, that Flores has never been convicted of a felony, a violent crime, or a crime involving the use of the weapon. Even in the present case, Flores contends that he received and used the handgun solely for self-protection and protection of property during a time of documented civil unrest in the spring of 2020. What does that have to do with the fact that he is a non-citizen and has a weapon? Why is it? Oh, well, it's cool because he got it to protect himself because of civil unrest when he shouldn't be here in the country. I don't understand. And it's always the left that's like, trying to ban guns everywhere. Well, they will ban guns for Americans, but it's totally fine if you're from anywhere else. This is crazy. I can't believe this story. All right. That's nuts.
You want to get to the Trump story that you had?
Yeah. I want to hit that one. I pulled that up while you were doing that. Okay. So, during the earlier part of the primary season, when there were 14 candidates in the primaries and debates happening, and Ron DeSantis was wearing stilts, and you remember this time, Vivek Ramaswamy became a noticeable and outstanding candidate. He went from literally unknown among the American Republicans to being like number 2 right behind DeSantis in terms of the challengers to Donald Trump, and well-spoken, willing to go onto all kinds of shows, present his ideas, engage in long-form dialogue. It became a strong advocate for a lot of issues that I'm sympathetic to. And even though I have some measure of distrust, but I have the measure of distrust for all of these people. Vivek Ramaswamy seemed to be very palatable, especially if you had American first kind of ideals. And when Vivek Ramaswamy dropped out of the primary race, he became, in my mind, one of the front runners for Donald Trump to choose as a VP pick, because this Vivek Ramaswamy can be dispatched to certain places to campaign and make a strong case for Donald Trump. Probably be very effective. Donald Trump rules out Vivek Ramaswamy as a vice presidential candidate pick. He's no longer being considered as a VP candidate, but is being eyed for a cabinet role. He's a Bitcoin advocate, and he has concerns about central bank digital currencies and their potential impact on individual freedom. Trump endorsed Derek Marin over another in Ohio this week. So he's wow. Hinditsu Times says Donald Trump throws out Indian origin Vivek Ramaswamy from running mate list. That's a pretty bold way to say that. So this story is mostly being floated on foreign news wires, but here on Political Wire, Trump personally told Ramaswamy he won't be vice presidential pick, according to people briefed in the discussion, but is considering him for posts including Homeland Security. Some Trump allies see Ramaswamy as ideal for the job because they say he excels at public speaking, and as an Indian American son of an immigrant could neutralize criticism of sweeping immigration restrictions. So that's that. Ramaswamy's going to have a job. Ramaswamy's going to have a job in the Trump administration. And hopefully some of that job will be dismantling the, deep state federal bureaucracy. But that job will not be vice president. which, the vice president historically is deeply overshadowed by the president. Like, for instance, how often do you see Kamala Harris? Like, even right now, she's the first black female vice president, and you only ever see her cackling.
They're all behind the scenes. They do stuff behind the scenes that you don't see. I think that they're trying to utilize Ramaswamy's strengths in the best.
I think so too.
Put him in a cabinet seat. Vice president would be a disservice to his abilities.
I don't think that's wrong. I think it would be good for campaigning, but once you get past campaigning and into the job, having him in a cabinet seat means that he goes quite often to testify. He runs an entire department, but goes quite often to Congress to make the case or answer questions. And a lot of times, I mean, we've seen like Merrick Garland before testimonies, and we've seen Mayorkas or whatever, and they just say whatever and they just get through it. But Ramaswamy can actually make the case to these opposing legislators, like the right thing to do on these committees. I think maybe this is a good idea.
Yeah.
We'll see. Okay. That's big news though. Ramaswamy out.
I'm still iffy on him though, I'm still.
Yeah. Well,
all right. Moving from politics, I've got one for you because you've got what is it? It's like 2 or 3 weeks away. The solar eclipse is coming through the United States. It's coming through my area. I won't have totality, but I almost had near totality in 2017, but not this year. So if you are going to try to watch the eclipse and whatnot and look at it, and you're going to one of those areas, please don't please don't go cheap on the safety glasses. Okay. Don't buy safety glasses in the convenience stores or anything like that. Find some good safety glasses. I heard stories about this in 2017 of people getting eye damage and whatnot. Let's see. A young woman's vision was 20/20 in the right eye, 20/25 in the left eye before the eclipse. Within 4 hours of looking at the sun, she said her vision was blurry and distorted in both eyes, and the only color she could see was black, which is not a color. It's the absence of all colors, but whatever. Glimpsing the solar eclipse Glimpsing the solar eclipse for just 20 seconds caused permanent eye damage to this New Yorker in 2017. She thought she was wearing safety glasses. Basically, they just talk about it.
Do not stare directly at the sun with paper glasses.
I mean, you've got people are going to just make these and try to sell them because of the influx of people going on. And if that lens is not the correct lens to look at the freaking flaming ball of fire that gives everything life, then you don't need, you're going to burn your eyes. Don't just, like what I'm saying. I walked in the convenience store the other day and there's a freaking rack of those right there. And they're going to be like $5-10 or something in the freaking convenience store. I wouldn't trust those.
You get you get a 4-pack at the Dollar Tree.
I wouldn't give those to your children.
No, don't do that.
And I'm not saying anything bad. They very well may be the right ones, but I personally am not going to buy one from a convenience store.
So
I'm not going to order one off Amazon either, if that's what you're thinking.
Here's we talked about this.
Our radio station gave out some official ones. I think it was we had partnered with the city, and we had given out some official ones, and they had went and bought like these official ones, and we had some good ones in 2017.
So here's the eclipse map. So the sun is going to traverse along this path, right? And the dark red kind of area is where it will be a total eclipse.
Okay.
And in Texas, it's
where are you?
Texas up in Dallas and Austin, but I'm down here in Houston.
Oh, okay.
I'm down
so
here in Houston, but you're kind of right here on the edge. Aren't you?
Go down.
Down?
Yeah, go down. Go down this way.
That's Owensboro.
Yeah, go southwest.
Oh.
There's LBL. You see that green? That's LBL. So go north. Go north. I'm right there. That's me.
Dude, look. You could go take a 5-minute drive and be in the total, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's like what, like an hour, and it's like right there, right directly in the middle. But I'm right on the edge.
Yeah. So that region, this kind of region to this area down here, it's going to be less than 100%, but it's going to be way more than 50%.
It was like 99% in 2017. It was a near total eclipse here.
This is a kind of, I don't know, how rare is it that we get a total eclipse across kind of the American Midwest or whatever? I mean,
I've read something about that and the rarity of that, but I do not remember what it said, so I'm not even going to comment.
Yeah.
I don't know if it. I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't know.
Well, it's going to be pretty cool to see all the animals freak out.
It was really interesting how quiet it got.
Yeah.
Just all the animals stopped. All the bugs stopped. It was just eerily, you're like, so this is creepy.
This is passing over a major city area, a couple of major city areas in Texas. You got Austin, Waco, Dallas, Fort Worth.
And you have zoos, and I know some zoos in Austin. There's zoos in one of those cities that it's going through that they plan to.
Dallas.
Yeah, that they plan to. I think it was Dallas that I read this story. The Dallas Zoo was planning on studying all these different types of animals. They've got these teams ready to watch the animals and observe what these particular animals do, because this doesn't happen all the time, and it's only for like a short period of time. So they've got to get ready and they got to watch while it happens. So I thought that was really cool that they were going to study this kind of stuff.
The thing that I think is, we'll see how interesting it is. There are going to be young people that have no idea that the eclipse is happening, none, and it's just going to happen in the middle of the day or whenever, and it's going to go dark in the day, and there's going to be TikTok videos and YouTube videos.
Here's my son. Cloud must be going over.
They won't even notice.
You won't even notice.
Great.
So let me bring up something else since we're on the eclipse, and I said this on the air yesterday. All around the eclipse area towns, we're getting reports and stuff of all these little towns in Illinois and stuff like that. And these are little bitty towns. We're talking population less than 1,000 people. Okay. And these little bitty towns are getting these reports from their mayors and stuff, or populations less than 5,000 people, stuff like that. And they're getting reports saying, stock up. Get a 3-day supply on water, 3 days supply on food, 3 days supply on gasoline for the solar eclipse. And that's what was popping up in these local governments were telling people to stock up 3 days, gas, food, water. All right. And of course, people on TikTok, people on Facebook, they all go crazy. Oh, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? Hey, I'm the first person to ask, why are they doing this? Are they doing this because something bad's going to happen? Are aliens going to land? Is an earthquake going to happen? Are they going to shoot a laser from the sky? Look, I'm logic. I love a conspiracy theory as much as everybody else, but when logic is logic, I can't dismiss logic. Okay. So these towns, because I live in a small town. All right. When you have one grocery store and 1 or 2 gas stations and 1 or 2 restaurants, okay, and a dollar store, and the nearest one is like 40 miles away or 50 miles away, and that's what you have in your little town, and your little town is now the epicenter, is going to be bringing in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of more extra people. Yeah, you may want to get some extra food and some extra water and fill up your damn gas tank, because Jack's Corner gas station / grocery store only has a certain gallon tank in the ground, because he don't need 17 freaking tanks like these big cities do. He's got 1 tank in the ground. And when that son of a bitch is empty, there's no gas for anybody. There's no water.
But the eclipse only lasts like 20 minutes or something.
But these people flood in from everywhere, and they are going to buy everything up in these small towns. And these governments are worried that if you drink bottled water, if you have something, if you probably want to fill up your gas, you probably want to go to the grocery store and get a couple extra things in case the grocery store sells out and the truck can't get in for another 2 or 3 days. Because the truck comes on Wednesdays and Sundays. You see what I'm saying? I'm using logic to and that's logical.
We all remember the great toilet paper shortage of
exactly. As much as I would love to see an alien spacecraft emerge from the eclipse and land on the ground and whatnot, no. There's an influx of people going to buy up all your shit, and they're trying to protect their people.
But it'll be over. It'll be over before they even get to the store. It'll be like, people are crazy herd animals though. They'll do crazy stuff.
I'm telling you, watch the news here next. It's April the 8th. Is it April the 8th or April the 6th?
Yeah,
One
April
of the two.
8th. And you need to check the time. If you guys are interested in observing this and you're kind of in that band, you need to check the time it's going to go across your area.
No, that's not
it. Because the whole Earth doesn't get the eclipse at the same time. It's the Earth turns.
I've got it over here somewhere, right here. A second of rare pair of total solar eclipses. Yeah, April 8th.
It's like 2 p.m. or something, isn't it? It's in the afternoon.
In our region, the path directly under the shadow. Let's see, Carbondale, Paducah, land between the lakes, Hopkinsville, Focal. Oh, this was last year. Experienced 2 minutes and 20 seconds was our totality in 2017. So I think ours is a little less than 2 minutes. I don't remember.
Oh, this is cool. Okay.
I'll go ahead. What?
Well, I was going to say, I clicked on this link. It says, see what the solar eclipse is going to look like in your city. So this is what it's going to look like here in Houston. So the moon is going to move right over the sun, and then it's going to be like, nah, I'm going to go a different direction, and it's going to go that way. So at its apex, it's going to just cover up a good amount of it. So if you go to timeanddate.com, you can see what the eclipse will look like in your area, and you may decide to make a little field trip to it. Here in my area, the maximum is at 1:40 p.m. Central Time. So it's pretty. It's kind of cool. Astronomy is awesome. Okay.
I'm a big astronomer. We could have a whole nerd show on that.
Oh, you know what?
All right, I've got.
I was gonna say, you know who else is a star? It's terrible. You can write me up for that one. It's bad. Okay. Alec Baldwin was a star.
Oh my!
But he's been eclipsed by his recent legal troubles. His trial's coming up in July, but his Hannah Gutierrez Reed, who's also responsible for the death of Helena Hutchins, she's already been convicted of manslaughter, and she's been found guilty in the fatal shooting. She and her lawyers are challenging the conviction in the fatal shooting of cinematographer by Alec Baldwin. So her legal team is appealing the conviction, and they're challenging it. So that is a little update. Look, the real news comes out in July when Alec Baldwin goes on trial, and he is trying to have the case dismissed. Of course he is. Okay, that's the last of the.
Can I do my story now?
Yes. Okay. Yes. Sorry. Go on. The floor is yours.
I'm so excited. Look out.
Okay.
So first, before I show this and preface this, I need to let our viewers know, if you have a bucket or a Walmart bag, a trash can, or something handy, keep it beside you, because you very well may puke in your mouth a little bit. I'm warning you. Okay. JJ, get ready.
Oh, this is bad. This is so bad.
I'm gonna let you read that title. I'm not gonna read that.
Yeah.
Tell me when you're done.
Elizabeth Hurley felt safe filming sex scenes directed by her son. Elizabeth Hurley felt safe filming sex scenes directed by her son. Oh.
So the movie in question, the movie to avoid, is it's called Strictly Confidential. It's his directorial debut with the erotic thriller, which focuses on a haunted young woman who becomes fixated on the death of her best friend. I don't care to know anything else about it because these people are disgusting. They look disgusting. They look evil. I want to give them any of my time, money, or any more of my attention.
I mean,
I'm really
okay. All right.
Hollywood doesn't mean shit to me anymore. Like I could give a crap about any of those Hollywood people.
To be maximally generous, how did they even get to this point? She's got a son. He wants to launch a film career. He says, Mom, I want to make a movie. She says, that's great. I was in lots of movies. I want to be supportive of you. Mom, I want to put you in my movie. Yeah, I'd love to help you with your movie. Mom, I want you to have sex with this guy. Hold up. What? Why? Why? What happened?
Because this country is being destroyed. You know, when you said, how did we get to this point? You know what the first thought that slammed through my mind was?
What is it?
We took God out of schools. That was the first thing that I thought of. I didn't say it, but you were like, how did we get to this point? I was like, we took God out of schools.
I mean, geez. She did play the devil. I didn't really believe that she was the devil in that movie. I thought, this is just a fun movie. Now I've seen this. This is the sequel. Oh my, she is the devil. That's the Satan right there.
So all week we've been all week since it's Tuesday, all yesterday, and I think we did on Friday. We talked about The Crow and the new Crow movie, and we've talked about that a couple of times. We watched the trailer. I thought that it looked a TLDR. I thought that it looked interesting as a reboot for the same story 30 years later. I thought that it looked interesting and I would go see that. You did not like it. You felt like
a little
a new one. The first one was perfect. Why are you doing it again? I think you even said something about the second Crow and it was a different person, a different story, the comic book. So Do Good echoed what you said. The first Crow was amazing.
I think I have my finger on the pulse of the mainstream attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Because Sinister Minister come up yesterday or this morning. I saw he was like, man, it was perfect. He said he parroted the same thing you guys said. The first one was perfect. And why didn't they tell a different story? Why didn't they use somebody else besides Eric Craven?
And I like Skarsgård. I like Skarsgård a lot. He's been in a bunch of interesting stuff.
But I'm kind of on the fence now about, you probably should have given it a different name and told a different story. You could have kept some of the same elements, but told a different story in the franchise. Well, I think you and Dave and Do Good are not the only ones that.
And we saw yesterday, the downvotes on the trailer.
Yeah,
it had like 80,000 downvotes and only 60,000 upvotes, which is peculiar. Okay.
So Alex
what's going on?
Parias, I guess, I don't know, has disavowed the upcoming remake in the wake of last week's trailer release. He posted a strongly worded statement on his Facebook page, writing that the original, let's just read it. I'm not going to read their I really don't get any joy from seeing negativity about any fellow filmmaker's work, and I'm certain the cast and crew really had all good intentions, as we do on any film. So it pains me to say any more on this topic, but I think the fans' response speaks volumes. The Crow is not just a movie. Brandon Lee died making it, and it was finished as a testament to his lost brilliance and tragic loss. It's his legacy, and that's how it should remain. You know what? I completely agree with that.
I mean,
I completely agree with that 1,000,000%. I agree now that they should have changed the name Eric Draven. He should not have been Eric Draven. Eric Draven was Brandon Lee.
right.
You can tell the story again, give him a different name, call him Alex Draven.
Like we've already seen the Crow can maintain its license and maintain its the storytelling universe by putting in different characters, because the Crow was a manifestation of rage and injustice, and it is a mantle that can be picked up by different characters, as it was in the inferior Crow 2 and the even further inferior Crow 3, and I don't even know how many Crow movies they made. That doesn't mean that the next one has to be bad, but I mean, like this is an impossible task to win over audiences unless they had just never seen anything that was the Crow.
Right. Yeah, I agree with that. That statement kind of pushed me. Pushed me a little bit. I didn't think about it that way.
He obviously has a very emotional relationship to the first movie, not only as being the director, but then being there when Brandon died, and having to finish that work, which that was a big job. Can you imagine being the director responsible for this film, and then your star dies and you have to figure out a way to finish the work and honor him at the same time? I can't imagine.
I was explaining that to Alex, and I said during that scene, they still had 2 or 3 scenes that they hadn't filmed with Brandon. They don't film in order. I was like, they don't film the movie in order. Sometimes the very last scene is the first thing they film, or a difficult scene is the first thing they film. I was like, but they had 2 or 3 scenes left that he was in. And I told Alex, my son, I said, this was 1993, 92, 93, 94. We didn't have the technology and computers that we do today. And this was one of the first times that I can remember that they used digital stuff to put his face on, they had doubles with that paint and stuff on.
Yeah.
But they had used computer technology that we had at the time for that. And that was one of the first things because that was before, I think that was right around the Jurassic Park time. It was probably right around or a little bit after the Beauty and the Beast computerized crap that they used for the first time in that. So we were putting computers and using it more.
I have a memory of a special kind of feature explanation of this where they kind of were talking about putting that Brandon's face on an actor. Oops. And there's a scene where they are pulling away from a window frame, or maybe zooming into it, where he's in the window frame and it's raining outside.
Yeah.
And Brandon's face is projected onto the actor. An interesting side note for me anyway, Alex Proyas, the director of The Crow. I did not know that he was the director of The Crow. As soon as I saw his name, though, I immediately thought, oh my God, Alex Proyas directed one of my favorite movies of all time, and it is not The Crow. Have you ever seen Dark City?
Yeah.
Dark City. Dark City is amazing.
Oh, really?
Yes, he's the director of Dark City. Yes. And so I immediately recognized his name after I looked it up. No, it's been a long time. Kiefer Sutherland plays this crazy mad doctor. It is a wild movie. If you're going to remake a movie, make another Dark City.
And that was a good one. I haven't seen that in a long time. I might have to try and find that.
It was like Inception-esque way before Inception. Yeah. And it's got practical effects instead of
that's right. Jennifer Connelly was in it. Yeah, that's right.
Oh yeah.
Like her.
You don't like her?
Labyrinth is one of my favorite movies of all time, and she ruins that movie.
Yeah.
I just hate her acting in that movie. Her acting is so terrible in that movie.
All right. Hey, speaking of The Crow, though, today's music.
Today's music, real quick. Yes, I scrapped our lyrics. We'll do that some other time because since Friday we talked about the crow, and yesterday we talked about the crow, and then today we had that story to come up about the crow. I'm like, we're doing crow songs. We're doing crow songs this week. So I'm just throwing this one because we talked about it yesterday. Burn by The Cure, one of my favorite songs from the album. I listened to it this morning. If you will type in Burn The Cure on YouTube, there is a live performance a couple of years ago from Glastonbury, and I watched it this morning and got like freaking goosebumps watching it, man. And it's not from very long ago. So you've got, Robert Smith up there as like a 60-year-old man with the makeup stuff and his crazy hair. But I've always just dug Robert Smith. He's just I like The Cure.
He really doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
I think we mentioned it, but I didn't play it on the show. There was a video clip of him because they were doing like a tour. I guess they're doing like a Pay the Mortgage tour or something like that when they were coming to the U.S. And the reporter that was talking to him was very, very excited. Are you excited to be on this tour? Are you like you haven't done this in years and you come to the American do this tour? And he kind of just looked over and is not as excited as you are.
Yeah, not as excited as you are. And see that Robert Smith was one that when they were talking about you people, your generation hates trans and hates all this and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, have y'all ever seen David Bowie? Do you know who Robert Smith? Do you know who some of these people are? What are you talking about?
Yeah, no,
that's not a new thing. It's always been around.
I'm not saying I endorse it or participate,
right? But it's not.
It's not a novel new invention that people are revolting against. No, you guys are trying to like do drag queen story time at libraries, and you're trying to transform children and chop them up. So
dress up in a dress and tell funny jokes, or dress up in a dress and make some awesome music. Whatever. I don't care what you wear.
Dress up in a dress and go beat girls up in sports. It's fine.
John Fishman, the drummer for Fish, wears a dress at every single freaking time he plays. And every drummer knows why he wears a dress, because he plays for about 4 hours at a time. And you can imagine the sweat and the rubbing that goes on with some of your feet.
I don't.
Me and my brother talked about it one time. I was like, I would wear a dress if I was having to move my legs for 4 hours like this.
Something. All right. Hey, did you hear about the guy? Guys, if you haven't already, please like, subscribe. We appreciate it. Come hang out with us in the mornings at 8:00 in the morning here on rumble.com/JJW. At the end of every show, we deliver to you a great joke. One of us does. It's probably not me. Did you hear about the guy that invented Altoids?
No.
He made a mint.
That was bad.
Yeah, that's right.
Not good.
Yeah.
I don't know if mine's any better. What did one ocean say to the other? The punchline is not what you think.
What did one ocean say to the other?
The punchline is not what you think.
I don't know.
It's not what you think.
I don't get it.
I'm telling. The joke is I told you the punchline and you didn't, and you skipped over it. The punchline is not what you think. What did one ocean say to the other? The punchline is not what you think.
All right, here. I didn't get it.
Okay.
Thank you for watching, folks.
Can we get it real quick? All
Audience,
right.
You guys want a second? It's Tuesday.
What does a German say when he eats an okay hot dog? What does our viewer Do Good say when he eats
an okay hot dog?
Okay hot dog.
Indeed. What does he say?
He says, could be worst. Thank you.
All right, we'll end on that. Bye, everybody.
Terrible.
Restream is going so well.
Talking heads lying left and right. You can help us get facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teats. Tune in now to your Two Dads show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today.
Goats are like mushrooms, but if you shoot a duck, I'm scared of toasters.